If you hit this video or you open it because someone shared it to you, it's because we are about to start to know Guatemala and the magic that traveling can give you. Stay with me in this experience that is about to start. After staying up all night waiting for such an important date, I started a big feat, a challenge where I would test my social skills, and with this, I may respect the other people to avoid having discomfort or misunderstanding that might bring problems. My technical skills on the bike. As the major part of my experience, I have only traveled the city and just a trip I did closing a stage of my life, a stage that was opening a new chance for me. The experience was leaving work behind. An impulse to know more took me to the department of Tecnical, looking for a different lifestyle than the one that I was used to in the city. In this trip, I started in Guatemala City to Quetzaltenango. I had the chance to make a loop in the map, and it was the very first one by motorcycle, and that's where I met Rachel, who is my main companion in this experience of driving Guatemala in a week, but also getting as close as possible in my low-engine motorbike, as I want to show that it's not needed to invest so much money in order to know other places, and you, my bikers, encourage you to take your bikes and go to road. We started this trip in Calzada La Paz, Zone 16 from Guatemala City, with the objective to arrive downtown.
¡Aquí empieza! ¡Aquí empieza! Bueno, no se puede ver, pero kilómetro cero y aquí empieza todo el viaje. Vamos comenzando con fe.
Why? As you probably do not know, the entrance of the National Palace is where the kilometers start to be quantified in the roads in Guatemala. I couldn't stand on the plate as in the time as this video was recorded, the country was crossing through some political issues which caused the permanent vigilance to these buildings. But I can share you a picture I took when I learned this information. Well, putting 0 on the odometer in the app as counter name of our bike that will take us to know our limits and new landscapes, I can tell you more about this project. We just started in kilometer 0 and we are on the road to Obelisco Zone 10, taking all 6th Avenue on the Liberation Boulevard and with this take highway to El Salvador. This route will take us behind a really big mountain that surrounds the boundary area from Guatemala City and also take us to the main point, the city from Santa Rosa department, Nueva Santa Rosa de Lima. Right now, in the beginning of the adventure, I do not feel so nervous, as previously in the other tips that I did to El Progreso department that I would like to mention here, I did several social help projects where I took advantage to know a little bit about this route, so this was not completely new to me. I know that this scene might be similar to you if you have watched one of my videos that I leave in the tag above in the video right now. This is due to the fact this project has been produced in different seasons of the year due to job and the grown-up responsibilities, and mainly to several changes that were presented while I was planning and producing it. I will tell you more about them in the next videos. After taking all the highway to El Salvador, I got to Frejanes to look for the village Lo de Diegues, with the intention to arrive in Santa Rosa de Lima, the very first department to visit in Guatemala on a bike. When I arrived at the first bridge, I saw a beautiful river crossing under it. I was amused. I decided to film the first scene. The idea was crossing the bridge on my bike while the drone was recording, so I could continue having that vivid reminding in my mind about all those green colors in the scenery. But some things do not occur as we imagine or planned. Here is where I experienced the first problem with the equipment. That mount on the bike to stick the drone controller, and the phone just took off. As I pasted it, and that caused the drone to record this image that we are looking at right now. After this situation, I needed to fix the mount, as this wasn't only for the drone controller, it was also my charge station in the bike, so I could recharge the GoPro batteries and so on. Here is where I experienced the very first help in this journey, and this was in the main 3 hours on the road. The first drone scenes are something really beautiful to me, as I was learning how to fly it. The capital of Santa Rosa was the first incredible destination. Also, looking at the horizon, so surrounded by mountains, in which one of them I just came from, and the other was waiting for me so it could take me to the next department, Jutiapa. This was something I can call magical. In the same way, looking at all those landscapes were some controlled fires as they were for the next culture soil, it was different experience for me to see, as mainly you don't know what is exactly happening there until some native tells you what's going on. I can mention that having a sky view from the church located in his central park, it's amazing. That made me remember those days when I was studying arts, when I tried to draw some churches from Antigua, Guatemala, and I couldn't make it, so I decided to use my cell phone for photography instead.
Rosa me trató perfecto, hubiera querido estar más tiempo, pero a Tezcatempa, vamos a ver cómo está Tezcatempa.
As the first department in this large list has been validated, and also having a real touch with people from the area, I decided to continue my road to the next destination, the Bridge of the Slaves.
Sí se puede, ¿va? Ah, va, permiso, gracias. Cuenta la leyenda
I took the road to Barberena and Cuilapa, towns from Santa Rosa, where I, together with Racho, decided to fly over the river and the bridge. The old legend says, several centuries ago, the settlers of this place were enslaved. Here lived the lord of a great estate with many slaves. The lord cruelly punished all those who neglected their work and sulked at the lack of a bridge to gain more trade. Once, a calf died due to the carelessness of a slave. The poor man was so afraid of his master that in despair he invoked the devil, and the devil came to him. The slave told him of his misfortune, and the devil saw in that man a good soul worth taking from Jesus Christ. In exchange of his soul, the devil offered him a wish. The slave asked to build a bridge on the master's farm. He intended to redeem the punishment, knowing that the landowner was working on a bridge. The devil agreed and said, "I swear that before the rooster will crow, the work would be finished." At the dawn, the repentant slave went to the river and found the completed bridge. The devil was contemplating his work. The man slided up to him and faced him a blessed cross in front of his eyes. The devil screamed, kicking a stone off the bridge and vanishing, struck down. The slave thus saved his soul. They say that the stone that is missing from the bridge disappears every time it is put in its place, and now the cross of redemption rests in its niches in the heights. Incredible story, isn't it? I know that for many of you it goes out of reality, but I love to see the cultural contribution to a bridge with a legend that today is being forgotten and young people no longer know it. So that's why I want to tell you about it today, hoping that you enjoy it and that made you subscribe to my channel. And well, after having collected something of value for the project, in addition to meeting more people, I decided to follow the path to the next destination, which is Jutiapa. Having another small inconvenience with the mount for the drone controller, you won't believe it, it collapsed again. I improvised something with a wire and the screws of the motorcycle's windbreaker. I thought this was better than all the time that was invested before to put several layers of double-sided tape. Thank you for your company, and I hope that the legend of the Bridge of the Slaves is a small grain to the cultural contribution. My beautiful people with a good heart, and my biker brothers, I wait for you next week to discover the happiness surrounded by vipers in Jutiapa. Remember, I'll see you next week.